And gentlemen, welcome back to the Wrestling for Life Network. We got a special show for you tonight as we set up a highly anticipated weekend in wrestling. It's going to be a good one here at the channel. It's going to be a good one for the wrestling fans out there. And we're going to give you our predictions, our preview, and we're going to talk a little bit of wrestling. But me and these two pretty faces going to go through Hard to Kill and Battle in the Valley, plus talk a little bit of the IWC fun stuff for the last couple days. It's going to be a good one, folks. Make sure you strap in, strap on, grab your snacks, grab your feel good. Make sure you hit like and subscribe. Let's go. Ding, 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 folks. We are live and back at it again. Like I said, we are the Wrestling for Life Network, and this is another live stream. Welcome to those who are already here. We're looking forward to getting into all of this tonight. We're going to run through two stacked cards with the return of TNA Hard to Kill. And I mean, TNA is back, boys. It's going to be a fun one. We'll see what this means. Lots of hype, lots of buzz, as we were just talking about before we went live. Plus, we get New Japan, Battle in the Valley, also stacked, a lot of familiar names. But before we get into all that, I will remind you who we are. I am Mr. Every Night, KJ White, the Iron Man of YouTube, and that is Big Nick.
I didn't know I was going to be doing the Road Dog, but
I know what you're going to
do. Hi, Anthony. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
The chapeau that runs the show, Mr. Anthony, Mr. Big Nick, not swinging his Road Dog tonight, so that's all good. That's
pause on that already. Starting out of here.
But gentlemen, I guess the first question out of the gate tonight is, we got a big weekend. I know, Anthony, we'll start there. Anthony, you are jazzed for this pay-per-view.
I don't think I can stop talking about Hard to Kill. Like, if you follow me on TikTok, it's been nonstop every day. Something about Hard to Kill. I'm excited for it. Whatever that Scott D'Amore has planned for Hard to Kill, I don't even know what to predict. I don't even know who to choose to win. I just know he has something big. There's big signees. There's just the titles are beautiful. Hard to Kill is where it's at. If you're not watching Hard to Kill on Saturday, I feel bad for you.
What about you, Big Nick?
Yeah, no, I second everything that Anthony just said there, and especially with it being the reintroduction of TNA, they're coming out of the gate swinging. I think we've all kind of jokingly said it at one time or another. They are pretty much the second biggest promotion now in the U.S., and they're going to try and very much go for that crown, I think, now that they're back as TNA.
It definitely feels like that. Definitely feels like there's a good amount of momentum, and we will talk about it. Before we get into the predictions and rumors of this weekend, we're going to look a little back into the last couple days because I haven't seen my two wrestling buddies. Definitely been an interesting couple days out in the IWC. Definitely a big night last night for Dynamite. But here's the thing with AEW right now is a lot of the buzz is not good. A lot of it, even faithfuls, even guys who go live every show with an AEW hoodie on, are finding reasons to yell at Tony Khan right now. And I would say TNA has done the complete opposite, where everybody's talking good things. Everyone's loving what Scott D'Amore is becoming like the everyone's favorite little cherub with the little fucking bow and wings, just offering all the goodness. So definitely rolling for TNA right now.
Yeah, most definitely. I don't really know what's happening, and I see Keyshawn's comment down here. Got to hear my thoughts about TK's rant. I don't really know what's going on with AEW. Like, I like Tony Khan, and I like the things that he has set in place in professional wrestling. His tweets were funny. The replies back with Eric Bischoff were funny. Getting Hook involved in Jinder Mahal, all of that was funny. I think my biggest issue is, like, you're the president, you're the owner of this company. You should keep your feelings reserved. That's my only concern. Like, I think if you're a head of a company, your feelings shouldn't be made public. But I think everything he said was funny.
Yeah, people were talking about anger, and Nick, I know you and I talked about it. We weren't angry. We were laughing.
Who was mad? No one was mad. No, Tony was the only one mad. And people say Tony can't make stars. AW can't make stars. They made Jinder Mahal the biggest star in the IWC.
They did
over the past couple of days. The modern day Maharaja is running wild on Twitter. Did you see he even kind of acknowledged it on the bump there?
Yeah, no, he did. And there's content creators out there putting up like Jinder Mahal, like highlight reels and shit more about Jinder than I've seen in all the years I've been doing this. It's crazy.
And I wouldn't even put it past WWE to be like, hey, let's just give Jinder Mahal the belt for like a week or something, just to say, you know, congratulations for doing that to Tony Khan. Right. I mean, fans that didn't even like Jinder Mahal are now Jinder Mahal fans just from that one tweet. So
yeah, galvanizing for sure. Now, here's the dilemma Tony's running into is he's spouting off on Twitter. Some people thought he was upset that maybe he didn't sign Sasha Banks. People were surmising that maybe he was just upset that his Jags didn't make the playoffs and he was sitting at home not having the best of weekends and decided to pop off at the WWE, or, you know, you got poked a little. But the thing for me right now is 2 episodes into 2024, 2 swings, 2 misses, 2 not so good shows. The ratings are 801 last week, 798 this week, or 791 this week, something like that. Not looking very pretty to start 2024 for Tony Khan. Taking more heat than wins right now.
I was singing Buddhist in my mind. Were you singing Buddhist in my mind?
I don't know if both of you saw that, but they played his music over the entire segment to drown out the crowd.
I did not notice that.
He comes running out, and yeah, like they're setting up the street fight for Battle of the Belts, which to me, I asked the fans last night, what is more outrageous? Jinder Mahal fighting Seth Rollins for a title, or Jericho and Sammy Guevara getting a tag title shot? That to me is a little more outrageous. And they literally played the Judas the entire time that everybody was fighting to drown out the crowd. It blows my mind, but it was very methodical.
I think what people don't realize with WWE a lot of the times is they like to give stars, some of their wrestlers, a moment in the spotlight when they have a good moment previously. So just using Natalya as an example, a couple of months ago, she got that NXT title shot. She only got that NXT women's title shot because she did back-to-back matches when they were, I don't know where they were, but they were not here in the United States.
Yeah.
And she did back-to-back matches. I believe Jinder got this title shot because of how much he held his own against one of the greatest of all time, The Rock, on the Monday Night Raw previously. So they're giving him this opportunity, you know, to go after the world title. Does he win it? In my mind, 99%, no. But I think WWE gives their stars shots just because of how they've treated the company in the past. That's what I think.
No, I agree with that. I was going to just going back to when we were talking about the issues with AEW as of recently, and I'll talk about it, I guess, from the other side of the Jericho match and why it's so weird that they haven't said anything about it, but their silence and their actions, like we were just talking about them playing his song the entire time, has become very almost damning in a sense of we still know nothing, but being this silent about it and avoiding and just shutting it down immediately is kind of a little telling to me.
It's very interesting that they haven't addressed it directly, but you think then, okay, maybe back him off, maybe not put him in the spotlight, maybe not give Jericho a title shot and just let the dust settle a little bit instead of having to do like, you know, play the music over his match or his spot on the show, or do a pre-taped street fight to avoid, you know, what the potential reaction of the crowd's going to be. And that's your crowd. That's people that bought tickets to your show, not happy with that particular gentleman. Very interesting, where Tony's kind of giving me that Vince McMahon vibes of, I don't care what the crowd does. We're doing what I want to do.
Yeah, but if Tony had sat there and even at that media scrum, sat there and just shut it down instead of, nope, never happened. We're not going to talk like that's done. Everything like that, instead of we have the safest place, safe, and just left this open door for this discussion to still talk and for this to still be such a topic of discussion is now just like I've said before, it's death by 1,000 cuts. It's death by Tony on Twitter. It's death by dirt sheet rumors coming out about Chris Jericho that you don't just shut down. It's this little thing, that little thing that'll just chip away constantly at AEW.
And it doesn't really matter how safe you think your company is. Things like this could still happen regardless. So preaching safety is not always the best thing.
The irony of the man who feared for his life a pay-per-view or two ago saying that they have the safest place ever.
Well, and then you watch last night's show and you watch Sting come off the platform there, and you're like, oh,
right.
He's 62. What are we doing? But Anthony's hat greater than AEW. One of my favorite comments. So welcome back, MPB. Big shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. Remember, we do have the super chat and the super stickers. We might not click on the chat as much as we normally do during a live stream tonight. We will do our best. One last thing I want to touch upon, and then we'll get to all the fun and positivity. But it is a good point right now, you know, the comparables with some of the companies. You know, there's a lot of good buzz in the IWC, and it just feels like the other one company needs to kind of pull their socks up and correct a little bit. We hope that the beginning of 2024 was going to be a course correct, a reset, and we're not quite there yet. It doesn't feel like it. Everybody talking about the Young Bucks going to take on Sting, and then we saw some reports coming out today to try and defend it. But man, across the board, I saw TikTokers, Twitters, I saw people on Instagram, I saw podcasters. No, not many were feeling Young Bucks being Sting's retirement match.
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it very nicely. I'm glad I did not buy tickets to AEW Revolution because I wanted to.
Yep.
And that was strictly to see Sting's last match. So if that's the case, I'm glad I'm gonna stick at home and watch it on pay-per-view.
Right? What do you think, bud?
Well, my whole thing with this is people can't differentiate between not liking the idea of this match and you just don't like Sting. Like, no, we can still love Sting and still respect him for everything that he is. And I get that this is what he wanted. Well, it's still kind of shit. Okay, I'm sorry. That's the thing is, honestly, can we all just admit that Sting's retirement run has been a letdown, has not felt as pristine, as fitting an icon as Sting.
What do you mean? The Word Horseman wasn't something that you were digging?
No, not him out there with the sex pest, not him getting caught up in the Ric Flair controversy, and then, like I said, having to be out there with the Chris Jericho controversy. His last match in New York is going to be known for Chris Jericho getting booed than it is for it being Sting's last match in New York.
Yeah,
this whole thing's been a disservice to Sting. So that's why this feels like the ultimate letdown. It's just like, fuck, maybe we could at least get something. Maybe we get the Hardy Boys at least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I said it last night while I was covering it live, where when Tony Schiavone rolled in the ring and said, you know, asked Sting straight out, who is going to be your last opponent? I was a little surprised because I thought they would build like an angle to it that generally when someone's retiring, you're using that to kind of pole vault whoever retires the guy, you know, and we've seen it work in varying degrees, but I thought there would be an angle that would build to the match, and then it would be like this epic, like Sting's final farewell, but he still wants to win the match. It's like that Rocky Balboa kind of vibe. And if it was who we all thought, I mean, I believe a lot of people thought it would be Darby, and it was a chance for, you know, to kind of push Darby along. And then you build from that in the absence of Sting as he moves on. I don't know that anything would come from that by announcing that the Young Bucks are going to fight him in March. What does that help? Where does that go? Like, I heard some people say it's going to be an epic match. I really don't think it is, to be honest.
The reason why I see some people think that it works is because I guess supposedly Sting doesn't want to do tag or singles matches anymore, and I saw it was Meltzer actually. So again, take it with what you will. I'm sure this is instantly discreditable, but about how pretty much the Young Bucks are just known for putting so many tag teams over. I don't know where the fuck that narrative came from, but that's what a lot of people are running with of how this match is going to work when that team's historically known for not putting people over.
Mm-hmm.
And I think too, on top of that, it's the angry EVPs that just kind of left and took some time off. It took their ball and went home for a little bit and now Matt's wife's been fired, this and that. Now they come back with their badasses with the weird creepo pedo mustache and everything, and instantly go right into a top of the card historic match with Sting's last match.
Is
it earned, right? You talk about Jinder Mahal earning a title shot. Is this position earned, right?
Right. I don't know. I think I know Sting had a say in his, days of his last match, but I don't think this is it. That's just me.
Sorry, Anthony. It was just that excuse drove me nuts today, because it was like your quarterback comes to the coach and says, "I'm going to be a wide receiver today," and they're like, "Well, you're the star. Go ahead." Like, to me, you got to do what's best for your company. I know it's Sting, you want to honor him, but it's still all got to fit together, right? Like,
I think, and I'm probably gonna say a bold prediction. I think Sting's last match in WWE was against Seth Rollins, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
I feel like that match is going to be his actual retirement match, and it's going to be better than what we see at Revolution.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad statement at all. I mean, like you talked about, KJ, we thought this could have been Darby. I saw even Goldberg was trying to throw his hat in there, and honestly, I would have taken it versus the goddamn Young Bucks. But yeah, it's if Tom Brady's not going to go out there and say, I'm going to be lining up at fucking fullback here in my last season.
Mm-hmm.
No, sometimes you just have to admit, I get it's your last run, but your story's kind of shit. Maybe let's do something a little bit better.
Right.
No, I agree with that. The last thing I'll touch on, and then we will get into the good stuff. But a lot of this story came out because I know it came from, Cornette and Brian last touched on it, and then people went researching. But the story that MVP knocked Jericho out. Now, I remember 2 years ago, right around the time this channel started, that MVP and Jericho got in a screaming match in the lobby of a hotel, and it made news. What it stemmed back to was apparently they got in a fist fight, and MVP knocked the man out. So, just a funny story that just seemed to people drug up out of left field. Like, all right, Chris, you want to run your mouth? We're gonna go dig up all your skeletons.
Hey, exactly, and that's the thing with Chris. That's the same thing with Tony. Is if you want to, open your mouth and insert foot and just interject yourself into a situation no one was asking you to be involved and you weren't involved to begin with, you're gonna get some fucking dirt dug up on you just because, you know what? Fuck you for sticking your nose in here. Fuck off.
But all right. Enough of that stuff. I just wanted, like I said, I hadn't talked to my wrestling buddies in a couple days, so I wanted to see what
Mama said knock you out. I wouldn't want hands with MVP. He's actually been about that 100%. That man, I'm right now still probably good 20 years younger than me. I don't want them hands.
He ain't playing around. So no, it's definitely, it must be hard getting knocked out on your own cruise. You have nowhere to go. You're stuck on the boat. And it's yours. You're hosting.
Like, where are you gonna go after this? Where are you gonna go?
Chris, wake up. We need you to christen the boat. You did Omos just pop up and go, you got knocked the fuck out?
I hope so. All right, gentlemen, let's get into this weekend. The channel will be here live for a marathon show. We start at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to run through. Now, I will remind people, AEW does have Collision, and they do have Battle of the Belts. I don't know why they put Battle of the Belts on this particular Saturday. It's an extremely busy Saturday in the wrestling world. All
the time.
They do it, right? It's almost like TNA's nothing, but they might feel this one. So, but let's get into Hard to Kill. I'm, again, super excited. Impact never, I would say rarely puts on a bad pay-per-view, and they put a lot of marbles in this basket, so I don't think it's going to disappoint. You guys ready for some predictions and some chit-chat?
Yeah.
All right, so the pre-show is going to kick off with Rich Swann, Steve Macklin, two former champs. How are we feeling about this?
I think this is a great way to show, and I've said this for almost every match, so this is going to be cliche, but I feel like this is a great way to show some of the old TNA fans, some of the new talent that's here to stay, in TNA. And I think using Steve Macklin, who I've said has like a Stone Cold vibe to him just a tad bit in his hardcore style. And then you got Rich Swann, who's just like the comedic relief some of the time, and then has his serious moments. I think these two right here kicking off the countdown show is perfect to show the fans, hey, we're here, and these are the two guys that you guys need to look at in 2024.
You nailed it right on the head, though, KJ, with even just introduction in the match of it's two former world champions kicking off your show. What more needs to be said of two guys that are, can deliver at the top of this company, kicking off probably your biggest show in recent memory. If we're going right into predictions, I'm taking Macklin for this match just because I like Macklin a little bit more. That's all I got to go off of.
You bastard. No, I'm going to take Macklin as well for sure. I love this match. I think that both guys can bang. I think what Anthony said about Rich is, kind of the happy-go-lucky guy until you get that ding-ding. There's definitely a serious side to him. Two former champs, but Macklin, I think as 2024, he had he got his title. He dealt with some injury, had some other things going on, but he will be in that title picture moving forward. He'll be a key, pivotal guy in TNA moving forward. So I think Macklin's got this one.
Yeah, I think. Well, I guess since the camera's position, you pointed at Nick, so I was like, wait a minute. But yeah, I got Steve Macklin all over this. The Steve Macklin has this. He's walking out with the victory here.
Okay.
Now, a side question though, and I don't know man's contract situation or anything like that. Any thought or any potential to he goes and joins wifey over in AEW?
I think he still has more to do in TNA before he jumps ship. I think Deonna Purrazzo had did all that she could, and she felt like it was time to go. So no, I don't see him jumping ship right away.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like the fit there either. I'm worried that Macklin goes over there and just becomes another one of the guys where, to me, he's such a standout. I don't even want him to go back to WWE anytime soon. I like what he's done here, and I think this is a really good spot for him.
Fair enough. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Just thought it, had to throw it out there. I like the idea of Macklin with the potential new talent or that's coming in and the new talent that is already come in at the top of this card. And I like that Macklin, like you said, you didn't want him to go to WWE or AEW and just stay right here because he's pretty much made this. He's become the guy for the longest time in this company.
A top heel, a really good heel. You need good heels. And again, we'll talk about the main event and stuff as we move forward. But yeah, a guy definitely in that picture. There's a rivalry existing with Alexander. Yeah, let's go. Let's keep talent at TNA. They lose too many.
Exactly.
All right. The other match on the countdown show, a little bit of an interesting mix, but Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers taking on Eric Young, Frankie Kazarian.
I think, you got the TNA originals, and I didn't even know that title was on their names, Eric Young and Frankie Kazarian, but you got the TNA originals against some of the new guys. Even though Eddie Edwards has been there, a fairly long time, you got kind of the TNA originals versus some of the new guys. So I think this is great to be on the countdown show. Eric Young, top talent, same as Frankie Kazarian. Even though his feud with Eddie Edwards was terrible, every match he had with that man was top tier in 2023. So putting these guys together in a tag team match, I think is epic. For a winner, I'm gonna go with the TNA originals just because it's the return of TNA.
Yeah, Nick.
I was gonna say I couldn't have said it better. I mean, Eddie Edwards just for whatever reason doesn't do it for me. I don't get anything as to why he is where he is, I guess. But yeah, with it, the return of TNA 100%, you've got to get the resurrected EY and Kazarian to win here and get the happy-go-lucky vibes on the pre-show.
I think we're gonna, I guess we'll just,
clean
sweep across the board on the pre-show. It really, again, with being what this show means for TNA, the relaunch, it's hard to imagine the OGs are going to lose. And again, I have trouble betting against Eric Young ever. I love the guy. I think he's great, Canadian. But Kazarian, Edwards, yeah, I laughed at their rivalry a lot because between the matches, it was awful. It was like paint drying. And then they had really crazy good matches. So a really funny time, but it should be fun. A good match. I don't imagine it's going to be, an overly long match. But yeah, I'm gonna go with you guys and take Eric Young and Kazarian.
Fair enough.
Looks like we got a lot of Eric Young.
What's that?
I said, it looks like we got a lot of Eric Young and Kazarian for this match.
Right. So let's see if we can find some matches we don't agree on, which this might not be.
This is going to be a hard one, respectfully. Who's taking Dirty Dango? Let's be honest. Let's cut to the chase here.
Well, Dango's got backup, but this is an interesting booking, and maybe Anthony, you can help me here. How did we get to Dango and PCO?
I don't know how we got here. I really feel like this match is one of those matches they just threw together on the pre-show, and it's weird because you can throw matches together in Impact or TNA at this point, and they deliver. But I don't know how we got to this point. I don't know why Dirty Dango is fighting PCO. It makes no sense at all to me.
Does anyone picture just PCO chasing this man around the arena the whole night? Like, it's not really in a match.
Scooby-Doo, Dango, where are you?
Now Dango has backup. I mean, he's got
so did fucking Scooby and the gang.
Yeah, I will not bet against PCO. I will not. The Canadian
You can't.
No, can't do it. No, especially Dango, right? It's not like, he's going against fucking Macklin or somebody. It's Dango. I like Dango. I love what he's been doing, but it's a tough one.
Oh, nobody's going da 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 da.
And I think the chat pretty much feels the same way. Dirty Dango sounds like something you got to see a doctor about, or at least something you should wash off.
That's a slang term for something you might have to go see a doctor for sure. I got that dirty tango. I gotta go hit up the doctor. I gotta go to the hospital.
I'm gonna have to get that shot.
Right.
All right.
Yeah,
all right. That one's pretty.
PCO was undead. How can you go against something that? How can you pick something that can't die to lose?
Right. And again, the guy. I mean, yeah. I think that's about all we need to say about that one. It's really hard to see PCO going under. This match is amazing. Pure Sabian, Kushida, Vikingo. And I have a funny question to ask after it. Not a funny one, but a curious question. But how do you guys feel about this one?
This match has it written that it could steal the show. All of these guys are incredible. Kushida, one of the newest signings in TNA. But I'm really excited for this triple threat match. I don't see Chris Sabin losing.
Oh, okay.
I don't see Chris Sabin losing. If he does lose, it's to Kushida, not Vikingo. But I'm gonna go with Chris Sabin here.
Okay.
I'm just for the sake of being difficult, I guess I'll take Kushida in this. But 100%, this reminds me of something that you'd see with the old X division. Of it was always something that would steal the show. Every pay-per-view, built guys like AJ Styles, etc., to now the status that they are. This 100%. If you like your flippy shit, this is your flippy shit match.
This is it.
Yeah, this is a strap-in, strap-on kind of match. I'm with you, Nick. Rumors about Sabin retiring have come up over the last couple of days, and actually came up in the chat last night as well. And I found that very interesting. That as Chris Sabin, he's had a long run. I didn't feel like he was near retirement, but I mean, we all get to that point as you get older. How long can he continue to do the high level, especially X division stuff? He's had a great 2023. I am leaning towards Kushida to take the win. He just signed. Sabin's had a good run, but a handoff going into the new era.
I hadn't heard anything about Sabin retiring or anything like that. I was literally taking Kushida because I was just trying to be different for the first time so far tonight. I would have taken Sabin fully with this. And even if he does win it and say he wins it, and if he does retire with the belt or anything like that, if we had that happen, which I don't see likely, because to me, this man can still go just as good as he was when it was TNA the first time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I agree with you.
So you haven't heard that at all, and like any whispers about that?
I have not. Like, you saying that was the first thing I've heard of it. So yeah, I definitely don't want to see that man retire.
No, I was really surprised. I saw it a couple times, and then I kind of ignored it as internet stuff. And then it came up. A couple people last night were like, "Heard this might happen," and I'm like, "Oh shit, okay."
Do him and Shelly have to retire together?
Maybe.
Almost
each
weirdly
other?
kind of feels like that. It's kind of like, it'd be weird if like, well, not the same fully, but like if Matt retired and Jeff was still going, or vice versa. But I feel like if like Saban retired and Shelley was still going, it kind of feel, not to take
Awkward.
anything away from either one, but it's like they're so connected at the hip.
Yeah, the Motor City Machine Guns have been a team for so long. It's like the only way I can see them like retiring together is they have one tag team match, they win the titles, and they go off on the sunset. You know, that's similar to what like Trish Stratus did when she won the women's championship and then retired the same night. You know, I
Or
think
they have a
that
match against each other.
Interesting.
that too. That
Right.
too. Yeah.
A double knockout, and they just
Yeah.
all right.
Seriously.
No, yeah, it's
Yeah.
possible. I could definitely see that scenario. And they would tear it down. But yeah, I don't know. I just think they just signed Kushida. Kushida's been good for Impact leading into this. I'm gonna take Marty McFly. I got to.
A side question: is this a benefit or a detraction for Vikingo that this isn't a 6-sided ring now, with it being TNA? Because I'm worried that this man might try and hit, you know, the same spot about 4 times and not be able to hit it the first 3.
Oh. Yeah, and I think both of all of us hesitate to pick Vikingo just because of his obligations elsewhere. But I mean, he's going to be a fun element to this match. Hold on tight.
When he's on point, he's on point. When he's off point, though, he's really off point.
Right. All right. This is the match I'm the most excited about, and it came in last minute. But Josh Alexander versus, Alexander Hammerstein,
Hammerstone, Steiner's son.
Yeah, I got all mixed up with my gimmick joke, but yeah, guys, this is going to be a banger.
Someone said to me on TikTok when I was trying to give my breakdown of this, whole match, and I don't know much about Alex Hammerstone, but someone said it's Hulk Hogan if he could wrestle. And I was like, now I kind of have to see this. I know what Josh Alexander is capable of, and I know what he can do.
Yep.
If this man is literally Hulk Hogan but can wrestle 10 times better, this is going to be something special to see and hard hitting. I want to choose Josh Alexander. But I don't think I can choose Josh Alexander. I got to go with Alex Hammerstone here. Just the pure size of this guy alone, just in this picture, is like, I'm sorry, Josh Alexander, but he's taking it this time.
It's so funny that you said that, Anthony, because for the longest time, anytime Hammerstone's been brought up, I just constantly go into when it comes crashing down and it hurts inside. I for 100% thought this man was going to WWE, and he still might. I wouldn't be surprised if he is the big signee and everything. I think it might still be a little bit of a letdown if it was, but it's still not detracting from how big of a match this is. Like you said, KJ, this is the match I'm looking forward to. This is the match that I think should steal the show. We were just talking about the kind of X Division match, how that could steal the show. This one should steal the show. This is your top guy, your best in the world under your brand, Josh Alexander, taking on Alex Hammerstone, who, granted, not your casual WWE fans may know or anything like that, but has 100% proven himself outside of the kind of big 3. And I think this is going to be his introduction to a lot of wrestling fans. But with that being said, I am taking Josh Alexander.
Oh, wow. Listen, Hammerstone's a beast. I can't remember if it was 1 or 2 broken ankles he wrestled on against Jacob Fatu. I know I think he broke his one ankle and hurt a bunch of other things in a series of matches, but he wrestled, like, finished a match with a broken ankle and then was out for a while. That's the type of guy you're dealing with here, of like, I could still go, right? Like,
he Kota Ibushi'd himself.
Yeah, well, yeah, not totally, but
he's like a superhuman at this point.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys saw, but he put out a really long, well-written, like, semi-essay about, like, thank you, Josh Alexander, for waking me up, and like, he's ready for this. Like, I think, Nick, you said it really well. Like, this feels like a bit of a coming out party for Hammerstone, who's been kind of tucked away with MLW and some of the indies. I hate to say it, I can't go against Josh Alexander. I really can't. But man, this is a coin toss. I got to go with the Canadian weapon. I think I'm 3 for 3 on Canadians right now. But right, a little bias. But Hammerstone is a monster, a beast. And if he has any intention of staying with TNA, this would be a huge win and a huge statement win for him.
Oh, this 100% could go either way. I just kind of figured they'd go Josh, maybe because it is the reintroduction of TNA and you can still come back. And now Hammerstone still got a bit more of that chase, but you could establish Hammerstone, especially if he's signed there, of he's now one of your instant top guys if he comes in, goes over Josh Alexander. And it's Hammerstone's been one of those guys of, like you said, tucked away in MLW. If you know, you know, much like a Jacob Fatu to an extent, except he doesn't have any famous cousins. So this is really going to be his first match on a bigger stage, or at least be able to be viewed by a bigger audience. So this is going to be two, again, big beefy boys who are superstars just going to town on each other. Pause on all of that statement, by the way.
Right.
I think as we continue to go through these predictions, it's very hard to not pick the original TNA person, you know, the original TNA wrestler. And I want to pick Josh Alexander. I really do. But I just, when I saw that man, I was like, I don't think he's taking this.
He doesn't look like a guy that takes L's.
Exactly. He just takes out anybody that's in his path.
Yeah. Just, no, that's funny. This, a couple of comments before we get to the next one, but Kyle wants to know if, Anthony, if you see the 6-sided ring being introduced.
I've seen a lot of some of the wrestlers in TNA say they want to do a one-night 6-sided ring show. I think that'll bring one of the wrestlers that's very outspoken about it is Jordan Grace. And I think if they bring that back one night, you know, it would be good for the wrestlers. I really think, and it'd be good for the fans who want to see it back. I just hope that the 6-sided ring this time around is better on their bodies. But if they do bring it back for one night, you know, that's great. I want to see it.
Oh, 100%. Well, they're known for doing, wrestling at this point is known for doing theme kind of pay-per-views and everything. So if they just did a theme pay-per-view of like TNA Classic or something like that, like how they used to do Lethal Lockdown, where every match was a cage match. Every match is in a 6-sided ring. There you go. There's your kind of War Games or whatever. That's your gimmick pay-per-view that you can run up the flagpole.
I never thought of it as a one-night only thing. I knew they were going to stay away from it as a standard thing, but that idea of like a one night only, like the old school throwback night, like I think that's a good idea. I like it.
Yeah,
I like that a lot. See money, Hammerstone rules. The 24-inch pythons are going to run wild over walking weapon, brother. I don't even know let me tell you something, Mean Gene. That's one big.
Let me tell you something, Mean Gene.
Yeah, there you go. Me and the beefer are hanging and bagging.
Awesome. What you gonna do, brother, when the Hammerstone run wild on you, Canada?
Big Dog. Yeah, I know a lot of people are saying, hey, you know, it's all Japan. It's old school Japan. Hogan could wrestle. Vince didn't want him to be a wrestler. He wanted him to be a sports entertainer.
I question anything that has ever come out of the mouth of Terry Bollea. This man thought that because he crossed international time zones, he added days into a fucking year. No, if you can't do basic math, fuck off.
But no, I think it's funny when you see like the old film of like this big giant Hulk Hogan doing drop toe holds and arm drags and fucking sunset flips. It blows your mind.
Hey, and I didn't say that Hulk Hogan could wrestle. It was the fan in my comments that said it. So, you know.
We'll say wrestle better then. We'll appease everybody.
There you go. No, he's definitely a much better wrestler.
Yeah.
I think
no Mickey 5 moves of doom with that man.
Right. I think Mickey comes back if all this does. I don't know what all is doing now. Big news with Mickey as she signs with OVW in 3 roles in a big way. So that should really help OVW's direction.
It's amazing what a Netflix documentary can do for somebody.
Right. I think OVW is trying to make moves and make a name for themselves in 2024, especially as signing Mickie James to do a lot of the work for the women's division. So
I agree. All right. Let's get to the next one, and I'll click on some other chat messages as we roll through. But the women's Ultimate X, Tasha Steeles, Alicia Edwards, Giselle Shaw, Jody Threat, Zaya Brookside, and Danny Luna. So some old names, some new names. This one's hard to pick, my friends.
This one is very hard to pick. You got Tasha Steeles, who won the first one. And she could do it all over again. She's the greatest that beat the greatest, because she won that X Division Ultimate X match, and then she went on to beat Mickey James, a couple of months later. So you got Tasha Steeles, you got Alicia Edwards, who I'm a big fan of, and I hope they push her a little bit more in 2024. Giselle Shaw is definitely a future knockout champion. Jody Threat, I feel like with Jody Threat, you have to like her because she has the F5 as a finisher. Plain and simple.
Or is it the diverticulitis? Is it the F5 or is it the diverticulitis?
And then I'm not sure about Zaya Brookside. I've never seen her wrestle before, so this would be interesting to see for me. And then Danny Luna, one of the newest signings to the Knockouts division, I think can bring a lot to this match. And she had an excellent match with Jordan Grace at Turning Point, I believe. I can't choose here. I think I could choose better if Kylan King was in this. I feel like she kind of got left out of this match. But I don't know who to choose here. I really don't.
I'm gonna take Danny Luna. Honestly, it's so interesting to follow Anthony up with all of this, because like man's just saying it perfectly, and I'm like, I just need to give a prediction now. Man just summed up everything perfectly. Literally, he broke everybody down 100%. Yeah, I like that we're even seeing a Ultimate X match for the women 100%. And that this doesn't have anybody that's a clear-cut runaway favorite here. That you've got, a top star with a bunch of kind of lower mid-card people or anything like that. This is pretty much almost a breakout match right here.
Yeah.
Right. Even this is kind of I guess I don't know how to pronounce this word, but like a re-intervention for Tasha Steeles, I guess you can say, and that's not the right word, but reintroduction. That's the word. Allow
me to reintroduce myself. My name is Shaw.
We haven't seen
get out of my head.
We haven't seen Tasha Steeles in months, basically. So let's reintroduce Tasha Steeles to the TNA, fans of the TNA universe.
She would be 100% my 1A, 1B pick.
Okay. Yeah. I'm actually going to take Alicia Edwards, and I
what the
fuck? I'm not taking a Torontonian at that.
I was going to say, everybody's been talking this whole time about how you don't take anyone who's not Canadian. If there's a Canadian in the match, KJ's taking them, so you just count that out.
Well, I guess when the odds are spread out, then I feel less guilty about it. So. Who is Zaya Brookside? Zaya Brookside, did she not have a stint in NXT? Did she not sniff around?
And then one, I believe.
Yeah, okay. I believe so. But I just think I give Alicia Edwards a hard time because she's a pain in the ass and I hate seeing her, which means she's probably doing her job, right? But that probably means she's doing her job really well, right? She's done well as being a heel. I think she might steal this and kind of have that so I'm leaning Alicia on this one.
With this being an Ultimate X match, you see her shimmying across that high wire and everything, that whole thing. You got a little bit taken to this.
I feel like she might just be standing under and catch it like someone else.
The Otis is it. You're taking an Otis spot. Pop fly.
Right, I feel like she jumps on Giselle's shoulders or something and grabs it. I don't know. This one is it really is a crapshoot on this one.
I want to be different and say Jody Threat. I really want to be different, but I'm with you, KJ. I'm with you, KJ, with Alicia Edwards. I just feel like I've been watching some of the old 2022 episodes and seeing her have a face-to-face with her husband in the middle of the ring after he joined Honor No More, and how she handled herself gracefully in a ring full of men and did it well, maybe this is it. Maybe this is what she needs to finally be pushed in that top spot. So I'm gonna go with Alicia Edwards here.
The only other person that I really think like is real close, just because she's been such a good soldier, is Giselle Shaw.
Yeah.
I feel like she's put a lot of people over and hasn't really got her flowers. Like she's gone under to Deanna, to Trinity, to you name them. She's done the job. She's been an absolute trooper for this company. This could maybe be her moment, but I'm still going Alicia.
I'd take Danny Luna as choice number 1. Tosh Steele would be my number 2, and Giselle Shaw, like you were just talking about, would be my number 3. I'm still surprised you still haven't tried to even attempt to take Jody Threat there, Captain Canada.
I like. I don't. It's she's good. Well, again,
you pop every time she's on the screen, and now you have the choice to pick her to win a match, and you're like, nope, you can have that.
Yeah, you can have that. I don't think she's winning. I don't know why. I don't see her winning. Maybe I'll eat my words on Saturday.
Side question that I just thought of: could we potentially see someone gets taken out of this match before they're supposed to come out or anything like that? And do we have any debuts, returns outside of the big announcement, any sort of pop-ups in a match, in between matches or anything? Because I think there could be the potential of, say, one Dana Brooke showing up in Impact and being involved in the Impact Knockouts division. And I mean, it'd be a little bit interesting to see her up there, shimmying across the Ultimate X, but maybe she pops into this match here.
Do you think she could cartwheel along the X?
I mean, she's a fitness chick, so I mean, respectfully, she should probably be able to do it.
I hate you, Nick, for saying that. Now I hate you, because it's like the only reason why I'm saying that is because the person they would take out of this match if they did an injury angle is Alicia Edwards.
Oh, how so? How so? Explain. Catch us up.
Yeah. Alicia Edwards, in all honesty, is probably one of the weakest out of the other 5 women.
Facts.
So they do an injury angle with Alicia Edwards, and it's a surprise. It's going to be Alicia Edwards. It's not going to be anybody else out of those 6 women. It's going to be Alicia.
Wow.
And I hate that. And I hate Nick for saying that.
So when that happens, you know where you heard it first. But Ishmael, shout out for the super chat for $5. Can't wait to see Jon Moxley live. Shout out.
That'd be amazing. Where are you going to do that? I'm curious.
Right. But so your thoughts on what I've already gotten one person hating me on this panel. Let's see if I can get 2. I can go 2 for 2 here.
Well, what makes me nervous about that idea is my pick is the one that's probably going to get axed. So possibly, I mean, I think if someone like Dana, and we'll talk about, we got the women's title match coming up, and they may be needing to look for someone to take the place of somebody that might not be there anymore.
Fair enough.
That might be the fit. I don't know. The way they kind of rolled this one out, I think we might end up being with this group. But you never know. You never know. It could just be because of the nature of the match. There could be a new person that comes in and just interferes to fuck up someone else's chance to win the title. Or win the match. So that's a possibility as well.
Yeah, no, 100%. With you bringing up the women's world title match and all of that 100% makes just as much sense. So you're not wrong with that at all. That's very much valid point.
Yeah. Maybe it's Sasha. We'll talk about that. All right, let's move on. This one was a good one. A stacked tag match. ABC, the Rascals, the Grizzled Young Vets are back, and Mike Bailey and Trent Seven for the gold.
I really wanted it to be ABC versus the Rascals. I really wanted them to just straight up. But all of these teams are great. And after seeing Mike Bailey and Trent Seven at Final Resolution, I was hoping they would become a tag team in 2024, and it seems like that's what they're giving us. I'm not going with ABC to retain. I think Mike Bailey and Trent Seven are going to win. I really do think that. I don't know why, but I think it's gonna happen.
Spicy meatball. I like that one. Mr. Nancy.
I'm going Grizzly Young Veterans here.
I knew you were.
I think they are the best tag team out of these 4, respectfully. They're one of the best tag teams doing it. I think WWE completely fumbled the bag with them, with having them be in the schism, the word, dyad and all of that. So it would be an incredible get for Impact TNA. Now, sorry, to have the Grizzly Young Veterans on their roster, their weekly shows, running their tag division 100%. And it adds some new blood. Like you mentioned, you really wanted to see ABC and the Rascals. I feel like we've probably seen that match a couple of times already.
We have.
Right. Yeah. So I'd rather inject some new blood. You're not wrong with it being potentially Mike Bailey and Trent Seven because, again, new blood. I'm just a bigger fan, I guess, of the Grizzly Young Vets, so I want them to win.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know officially how. Has there been much word on the Grizzly Young Vets sticking around after Hard to Kill?
I haven't heard much, but they've also TNA has had those times to where they've kind of there's been no real show of extension or anything like that with Hammerstone or anything. So very much, I seems like TNA is kind of a little bit of a fluidity moment right now.
Okay, I'm going to take the Rascals because I like the Rascals. And again, ABC is going to be hard for them to retain. You guys took the other two challengers. I'll take the Rascals. Just again, I could see them kind of continuing into 2024 real strong. I don't know exactly how I feel about them as heels yet. At times they're a little more irritating than good, but I'll just take the Rascals to be difficult.
Well, and ABC very much could win this match. Let's be honest with this, because they've very much, especially over last year, established themselves as one of the best tag teams doing it in pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Is there any thought to ABC kind of breaking up at some point, and these two gentlemen like Bay and Ace kind of getting their own, going back to their singles runs?
I don't see it happening, at least right now. I think TNA, they have a great tag team division in actual wrestling, but they don't have a stable tag team division. That's same with the Knockouts as well. So I think they need some people to stick around as tag teams. And so I think ABC will stick around for a bit.
Yeah, your division, I wouldn't say is strong enough that you can afford to break up your biggest tag team right now. You're not wrong in that could happen down the road, because 100% they're both fantastic as singles wrestlers as well. But right now, you need to, maybe if a Grizzly Young Vets, a Mike Bailey and Trent Seven, and maybe another team or two on top of the Rascals kind of really start to rise to the top of that division, maybe then they can kind of slowly dip back, and then that's when they split apart.
Okay, fair enough. I like it. Should be a hell of a match, though. We talk about, we've said it a couple times of like this match could steal the show. This is another one that could steal the show. We could be talking about this, months from now, because it's got a lot of potential, a lot of talent. It's gonna bang.
We've said that 3 or 4 times now, and we're not even at the main event, so it's going to be a goddamn stack card.
Exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely. What's next on the docket? Speaking of some main events, Trinity Fatu and Jordan Grace. I like this one, man.
I want Trinity to retain. I want Trinity to stay with TNA, and I do believe Trinity is re-signing at Hard to Kill. All bold predictions. I think Trinity is at the top of her game. I think she's had the best year in wrestling amongst women in 2023. Someone said it online, which makes sense. They said the women's division in WWE has a lot of talent, and a lot of them are not being used. I feel that if Trinity goes back to WWE under Triple H, it's going to be the same thing. I really do believe it. I think her best bet is to stay with TNA, continue this awesome run. And one thing that's been very suspicious about Trinity since this news drops, she has been very quiet. I think today was her first tweet since January 1st. And that was with the reveal of the titles. Bold prediction, she's staying in TNA and she's retaining that Hard to Kill.
Okay, I like it. I like it.
Anthony, you know I love you, right?
I do.
Jordan Grace is winning this match. Jordan Grace is winning this match, and then we'll see Trinity in the Royal Rumble, I feel. I beg the question of what women's talent in WWE right now isn't getting used. I would say WWE right now has the best women's division. So I think 100% Trinity could show up there and be in a main event role, in a top tier, or in a main event of a pay-per-view, I'll say that, or top tier of a pay-per-view, and would be on the WrestleMania card. So I don't think she'd go in there and get lost in the spot, lost in the shuffle or anything like that, especially when she's been getting all of this attention outside of WWE. So now her stock has done nothing but rise and increase. So it'd be a much bigger thing when she shows up at the Royal Rumble than it's just, oh, it's Naomi. So I think she loses this match. She goes back over to WWE. I know you don't want that to happen, so that's why I want to remind you. I love you. I care about you. But I think we're going to start to see, again, like we said, a lot of the TNA originals kind of win matches here. We're also seeing a lot of changeover, changing of the guard. They're going in a direction here. They have a plan where they're going, and I think Trinity's kind of wasn't going to be here for a long time. She was here for a good time.
A few people said, Anthony was a little got the chat stirring a little bit with Nick there of like,
I'm sorry.
Be nice.
I don't see Triple H treating Trinity any better. I really don't.
So name me some women that are right now not getting used on the roster. Sorry.
One of them, which had a great showing with Becky Lynch, was Xia Li. She had that one match, had that nice little feud, and then she disappeared. I mean, that's one. And I thought, I'm a big fan of Xia Li, so I thought this is going to be it for Xia Li. They're going to push her, maybe not into the title picture just yet, but they're going to push her. She's going to be on TV more. It hasn't happened. The only thing I can see happening with Trinity is she coming back in a time where we don't have Charlotte Flair. She's out until SummerSlam, maybe a little bit after. We don't have Alexa Bliss. There is people on the injury reserve list. I think she'll be used correctly until some of those people come back, especially Charlotte Flair.
So you're telling me right now, if you put Naomi on SmackDown, that she couldn't jump the line right to instantly going for Io Sky?
But I think she could, but is he going to pull the trigger? That's my concern. Like, I think she would be definitely put right in the picture, but are you going to give her that opportunity? Are you going to pull the trigger?
They've done it with Nia Jax.
Yeah, I know that's different.
I think
how many people really thought they were going to come back
and win the Royal Rumble? If Nia Jax doesn't win the Royal Rumble, everything Nia Jax has built in the past 5 months is gone. What are they going to do with her going into WrestleMania if she doesn't win the Royal Rumble?
Yeah, and I think there is a level of, Trinity at the top of this pile, big fish, small pond, where, again, it is a bit of a shuffle game in the WWE, and you are fighting for minutes. And, again, you have so much going on already with, Bayley and Damage Control and all the potential angles there. Does Trinity just jump right to the top of that line? I find it. I think I'm torn here, but I get both of your arguments.
I do get both sides.
Definitely, like I said, it's valid arguments.
I definitely get where Nick's coming from. I just don't feel like it's gonna happen right away. I feel like Trinity will be used to build the tag team division.
Tag team
is a gamble, but I think what she's established on outside of WWE has built up enough credentials with that, because honestly, if you're not going to, if you haven't done enough now to establish your spot over there, then you aren't. So I think that sorry, go ahead.
No, keep going. That was good. Finish.
No, I just think she's proved herself. Like, she was top 2, top 3 on a Sports Illustrated list. She's getting talked about in major publications outside of just, Meltzer and the Wrestling Observer and, Pro Wrestling Illustrated and shit like that. People have very much drawn attention to, and that's why Anthony's so passionate about her being over there. But I think now is the time to capitalize on all of that. Now is to when you put your fucking chips in at the table and you cash out.
Not a bad argument at all. But see, I remember last year for Hard to Kill, and I was convinced that Mickey was going to lose. And instead, she showed up the Rumble with the belt. And with all the buzz going on right now, I'm going to take a flyer and kind of go with Trinity retains, but is still at the Rumble.
Just going straight down the middle of the road.
True.
Back to you, Anthony.
No, I think there. I know I'm very passionate about Trinity. I've been a fan of her since her time when NXT was that freaking game show, you know. So it's like
you were a Funkadactyl?
Exactly. So it's like seeing her being utilized right now. It's hard for me to be like, go back to WWE and see what they can do. It's very hard for me knowing that she was there for 10 years and they basically did nothing with her. And I know it was under Vince McMahon, but still, she was there for a very, very long time. And
but
she had
sometimes
that.
I'm a neon peacock, and you got to let me fly.
I know, and it definitely could.
Chelsea Green's getting used. Piper Niven's getting used. Tegan Knox is getting used.
It could be everything you said. It could. But I just don't know. I see Boston Gamer down here basically said he disagrees with me when it comes to Nia Jax, and I'm just like, but who does Nia Jax face if she doesn't win the Royal Rumble? Like, if she doesn't win the Royal Rumble, is not in the Elimination Chamber, what does she do at WrestleMania after building the past 5 months? You know,
I don't think she's going to win the Rumble, so we will find out.
What she does specifically at Mania is one thing. You can not be in a big match or anything like that at Mania and still not, still have a storyline going outside of it. But
I think it just kind of kills her momentum, especially when she beats Becky Lynch's clean, not an interference, not a nothing. And it's just like, I don't know.
But can we say that was probably the best match of her career? And we've now seen the best Nia Jax. And so I know I might, respectfully, ladies, I love a thicker than a Snickers girl, but the Monday Night Raw division for the women has kind of become the Haas division. So you're going to have, more powerhouse women in that division. Not everyone can be champion at the same time, but as Nia Jax still there and still relevant, yes.
Anthony, true or false, you love Trinity more than your own hat?
I probably do.
He named his hat Trinity. We just did.
Right. Trinity to join the bloodline. Interesting. Yeah, man, I'm so torn on this one. This is tough.
It's tough. It definitely
is tough as hell.
I love the discussion. This has been the best match to talk about.
Yeah, man, this is good. We all didn't, kind of go the same way or pick a Canadian.
You drove like a Canadian, just straight down the middle of the fucking road.
Well, I haven't really, because I think that realistically, I think Jordynne Grace will carry this division forward. I think she will be the face of the Knockouts division for the bulk of 2024. I think there's a small part of me that thinks that maybe they could do the fast one and Trinity is a part of the Royal Rumble as the Knockouts champion, but then goes back. But ultimately, I'm going to take Jordynne Grace takes the win. And we'll see what happens for Trinity moving forward. But
I do have to admit, I did say months ago when Jordynne Grace beat Deonna Purrazzo, she needed that to run the Knockouts division because she had never pinned Deonna Purrazzo in any of their former matchups. So if this is the time for Jordynne Grace to step up and finally take that crown that I'm running this, Knockouts division, Hard to Kill is it.
Well, we're picking against the former Impact world champion, not just the women's champion.
Are we?
Jordynne Grace.
Was she the world champion?
She won the world title at one point.
Did she? She was the
digital. I know she was digital media champion.
Oh, never mind. I'm stupid.
Now, again, if there are a lot of rumors about what Sasha's doing, that could be tied to this Trinity situation as well, guys. So one way or the other, Anthony either gets his way on the 13th or I get my way on the 20th.
I expect tears, Anthony. If Trinity wins and Mercedes shows up, I expect tears.
I say Trinity and Sasha come back and reform Team Bad with Nia Jax. Oh,
yeah. Where's Tamina? No one meaner than Tamina.
Right there, you go. I haven't seen Tamina in a hot minute. Last time we saw her, she was in the parking lot with Punk, which sounds horrible. And last but not least on this card, and then we'll talk about some peripheral ideas for Hard to Kill. But the main event of the show, Alex Shelley and Moose for the title. How does this go down?
I think Moose actually picks up the victory. I haven't really been a fan of Alex Shelley's reign. I'm gonna just be perfectly honest. His matches have been great though. He's had some great matches. I think there was that one point, you know, when we were doing the watch alongs, I said that it was like Alex Shelley was angry for no reason because it seemed like all of a sudden he was angry at the world. Why are you so angry? But I think Moose really pulls this off. I don't have too much to say about this match, but I think if you're going to pit someone to be the head of TNA for the next couple of months as it changes, you got to give Moose that title. Alex Shelley is great as well. He's an original, but I'm trying not to go with a TNA original for this one, so I'm gonna go with Moose.
I agree with you fully. Moose wins this one, and I think part of why you haven't been a fan of Alex Shelley's reign is because he's been sidelined with injury for most of it. I feel
that's true.
That's really been a lot of already taped matches that they've just re-aired as he's been on the sideline. So I don't know where he's actually, if he's back to 100%, if he's coming in at like 80% or anything like that. But yeah, Moose is your dominant champion. You're top of the mountain going forward with the start of brand new TNA.
Yeah, and there's some good babyface. Do I get accused of keeping to my Canadian bias if I pick Moose?
Is Moose Canadian, or is it just because people associate Moose with Canada?
Right? Am I cheat? Like, is it just being stereotypical here?
It's not caribou, so you're fine.
Caribou, we're more. I think Moose are more us. But we got both. Yeah, Moose. I think there's good baby faces. If Josh Alexander goes over Hammerstone, or even if he doesn't, and maybe it's Hammerstone. But again, Moose is another OG, an outstanding talent. He will have a really solid run as we start the new era. I see him walking out like the first TNA show with the suit on, looking all proper with the bell on his shoulder. I agree with you both.
What's the next TNA pay-per-view after this one? Do we know yet?
I think it's No Surrender.
Yeah.
I think it's No Surrender.
And I could see that main evented by Hammerstone versus Moose for the TNA World title.
Okay,
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I know. Keep in mind they're filming Snake Eyes the day after Hard to Kill, which will air on their weekly show, which includes Osprey and Vikingo and a list of other stack names that they'll spread out over the Okada.
Right.
So yeah, no rest for the wicked. Pay-per-view fight, TNA Plus, app, DAZN. I guess we're just listing off all the places we can find them. There you go. Thank you, AJ. All right, folks. Now, before we get on to the next card or the next show, which I think will take less time, to be 100% honest, any big surprises, any big twists, anything that you're anticipating, hoping for, expect from
Well, who's the big signee?
Who's the big signee?
I'm still banking on Mercedes, but I don't know. Over the past couple of days, I thought it could be Dolph Ziggler. I do feel like Dolph Ziggler a tiny bit would be a disappointment. I'm not gonna lie. But you know, I'm still leaning on Mercedes. If not, she'll be at the Royal Rumble. But I did hear one thing today which kind of piqued my interest just a tad bit. I don't know if you guys follow Jared from bodyslam.net on Twitter, but he said that MK Ultra defends their tag team titles against the Bella Twins at Hard to Kill.
Shut the front door.
And I was like, what? Like,
no.
I like the Bella Twins. They're not the best athletes or the best wrestlers. I just like them as a whole because they're great entertainers, I would just say. But that kind of was like, maybe that could happen. I know they're both interested in getting back in the ring. Brie has been very outspoken about it. So I don't know. I don't think there'll be a big signing, but they could be a potential signing.
I hope not. I'm going to say that as respectfully as I can. I hope not.
That would be insane.
I feel, unfortunately, Anthony, you're going to go a little bit bankrupt, I guess, banking on Mercedes Moné. I think it might honestly be Prince Ali, Mustafa Ali.
Is that
I
good
think,
enough?
but I mean, we thought Ziggler was going to be it, and I think he's shown the splash that he made showing up in New Japan.
Facts.
So, and we saw the excitement of Ali's whole world tour and everything. So, I think he would be a welcomed addition to the Impact roster. I think you do have to keep in mind how big of a budget are they going to use on this signee and everything. This isn't, respectfully, Endeavor TKO money. This isn't Jacksonville Jaguars money. So,
Yeah, it's a tough one, man. Like you are kind of trying to find that pocket, but we also know that they were throwing money at the names like Will Ospreay. Like they might not have landed Ospreay, but they were definitely trying to get in the conversation. Maybe they do have some money sitting back there going, "Fuck, who do we swing at?" I think it's going to be someone that we really don't expect, and Ali's not bad. I think there's going to be an influx of faces. I said before, I feel like the comment about worlds colliding. I feel like it might be a collection of people, not just one. Like I think it might be like
a whole faction shows up.
Yeah, like we're gonna do aces and eights, run it back, TNA style, but like an invasion type thing. Maybe it is a Dana Brooke, and a mix of people. Maybe it is Ali. Maybe it is Elias. Was another one I was playing with. Like, what's Elias up to?
Can we just admit that if it's not Mercedes right now, the free agent pool outside of, unless we're going to announce it's even a Hammerstone still, I think falls into that next tier. If it's not Mercedes, is there a free agent out there that could fit that bill that's available that isn't that next tier down? I feel of a Ziggler, a Mustafa Ali, a Dana Brooke, a Hammerstone. That's that. Who else is a free agent that has that same star as Mercedes? Or close.
I literally cannot think of anybody
Right?
else.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you wanted to put Dolph Ziggler in that category, you could, but I honestly do not see Dolph Ziggler being bigger than Mercedes Moné, and I think she's kind of in her own tier. So I have to agree with you, Nick. I don't think there's anybody. I really don't. If it's not Mercedes Moné, it's something that it has to be somebody that's been kept quiet and no one knows about, that it's up there on that same level as Mercedes.
Okada?
Yeah. What?
Okada?
Is it?
What's his contract looking like?
I thought he signed with. Did Okada not sign?
I don't think Okada has signed.
No, he as we're about. Trust me, because I'm going to bring this up at this point because there's the match it's the Okada Ospreay match. That could be the last time we ever see that match because this has got to be around when Ospreay is going to AEW, and I believe Okada is still a free agent.
Yeah, I don't think he's signed
or is about to be a free agent. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. That would be crazy. EQ saying, what if it's Bo Dallas? He's still under contract to WWE. They're taking care of that family very well and doing well. And there's still a lot of rumblings that he could potentially return. That's a really good Okada would be a name of, like, at least for the diehard fan base, like a whole shit kind of, here we go.
Instead, we get fucking your main event picture then is Moose, Okada, Josh Alexander, Alex Hammerstone, and then you can throw in Steve Macklin, Alex Shelley. Boy, howdy, if you aren't competing for that number 2 spot, you're at least fucking sniffing it.
Exactly.
There you go. Last but not least, on Hard to Kill. Question is, if it's not Mercedes, will she show up at the Rumble? Anthony said he's hoping she's at Hard to Kill, and I made my bold prediction that she would make it to the Rumble. So we'll see. She hasn't. People keep showing up on Wednesdays waiting for her, and it hasn't happened yet. So.
Right. I can say this: if she doesn't show up at Hard to Kill, I see a clear path of her returning to the WWE. And if they've already snagged her to go back to the WWE. I see Trinity going back as well. They're the best of friends. They left together. Let's go back together. You know.
Number 29
Don't
and
call it
30
a comeback. I've been here for years.
Yeah, Hammerstone signing would be a big deal for sure. Well, gentlemen, like I said, we'll make this one probably a little quicker than the last one. But the second show we are going to cover on the pay-per-view, on the stream Saturday night, will be Battle in the Valley, New Japan Pro. This is going to be an interesting one. We're going to jump through the first couple matches quickly. All right, we don't have much.
Don't worry. Trust me. I'm out here. I was going to make the joke of brought to you by the San Jose Sharks.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, they're in San Jose. This show kicks off at 10 p.m. Eastern time, so there will be a nice little, kind of run into. We're not really worried about the undercard, so we'll be okay. But
right.
Anybody want to take a quick swing at this one? I don't really.
Stay Goldie, Pony Boy. I don't know. That's the only
Goldie.
thing I can come up with, so I'll take that one.
I'm gonna just say Matt. I don't know. I like his
name. Matt. All right. We love Matt. Let's go, Matt. All right. The next match on to get rolling through is Viva Van taking on Stephanie Vakir. I'm going Viva Van on this one.
I'm absolutely going Viva Van. I think 2023 was a big breakout year for her.
Yes.
So I think she 100% continues to establish her name.
I'm gonna just go with y'all.
Yeah.
You know what? The demon lady with the horns.
Damien going Stephanie though. Okay. Oh, a couple people. What do we know?
You can have that. That ain't even what I'm mad at.
Okay. Breaking news: Sonya Deville and Dana Brooke will show up at HTK to attack the Knockouts. You heard it from Dave. I don't think so. Sonya Deville
contract.
Yeah, I don't think
and she's injured. Yeah.
All
well,
right.
She's fighting the strap charge because of after when she had the stalker and everything, and they investigated her car and shit at one point.
Yeah, I thought they chucked it. Are they still going through that?
I wasn't fully sure. That's the last I'd really seen of because she's been on the sides dealing with shit.
Right. Then we have a 6-man tag. And if I can get close enough to see all this.
So you have Jacob Fatu versus Fred Rosser, formerly known as.
They're all on the same team.
Yeah. From Darren Young.
Darren Young.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And Shota Imuna versus Tom Lawler, Joel Nelson, and Royce Isaacs, aka so it's Team Filthy versus Team Babyface. Well, it's Jacob Fatu a babyface, but
it's a bit of a mix because Fred's not really a babyface either. He is at times. So
I'm gonna just say what MDB said. Whatever Team Fatu is on.
I like it. I'll go against him. I'll go Lawler in the bunch. Lawler's had a bit of a breakout over the last little while, and he's getting a lot of love. So I'll go Lawler and the Filthy team.
As I say, I'll take Team Filthy, the only team that actually has a name associated with the team outside of just we're thrown together.
It's so funny to see roster though, like after all these years.
Right.
Looks like that one's for you, Nick.
And you know, but there's only about 2 people who know.
Up next, we got the tag match. Rocky Romero and Sobrano Jr. are going to be taking on Mascara Dorado and Valdor Jr. This is a pick'em.
Yeah, well, the former Lince Dorado teaming with what looks like if Marty Jannetty was a luchador.
That's funny shit.
But so I guess I'll take Rocky Romero and Sojourner. I feel like I'm Scott Steiner out here. Sojourner Bolt.
I'm gonna go with Mascara Dorada because he looks like a Power Ranger. So
well, he's that's Lince Dorado. Lucha.
Oh, okay.
I'm going Team Lucha. Rocky,
I guess I'm going Rocky. Typical fucking Italian. I'm taking the Italian stallion, Rocky Romero.
Right. I've had enough of eye patches. I'll be honest. I'm not gonna lie. There's been too many eye patches in wrestling.
KJ just hates pirate movies.
I got a jar of dirt. This match is gonna be an awesome one though. Julia taking on Trish Adora. This one should be a good one.
I've never seen Trish Adora, but I have seen Julia wrestle before. So I'm gonna go with Julia here.
I want you to go first because I know.
You want me to go first? I'm gonna actually take Adora.
Same mine.
I think Julia is on a farewell tour. So that's my take on that.
Yeah, this is Julia drops the belt here. We've seen the stories of she's going to take some time off in between when she's wrapping up with Stardom, which I think she already has. She's going to pretty much wrap up with everybody else, take some time off before she makes the jump. So, yeah.
MDV gets a star. That's exactly what I was saying in my head, MDV. Julia Gulia for the win. Somebody kill me, please.
Which, by the way, though, I'll say when Adora wins, fantastic win for her. She's very much earned it.
Yeah.
She's was on Ring of Honor tonight in a match with, it was her, Lady Frost, Queen Amanita, the one that they just signed, and I can't remember who was the fourth woman of that match. But yeah, she's very much established herself outside, like a bit more on the independent scene, the New Japan, Ring of Honor kind of cards. So big win over Julia, I would say, especially going over Julia because she's been the talk of going to WWE from anybody and everybody, I feel.
Yeah, no, I agree. She's big. She's imposing. She'll go toe to toe. And again, I mean, if you're looking for Julia to kind of hand off as she's on her way out, a good champ to kind of give the belt to and keep the ball rolling for New Japan, I think I'm good with it. Yeah. Take up freaking Rollins. Good job.
and Julia, like to Anthony's point of, Julia's a fantastic wrestler. That's obviously why she's so courted by WWE. So it's going to be a hell of a match regardless. I just think this is, like you said, this is her wrapping up the indie scene tour.
Yep. I'm with you on that for sure.
Okay.
All right. As we mosey on, this is a late addition to this card, but adds to the element of a stacked card. It will be TBD and Matt Riddle taking on Zack Sabre Jr. Could not be more opposite. And big dude Tito. I like this match. Nick?
I was going to look up one thing before I made my prediction because I was going to go Team Matt Riddle with this because I thought we would still be setting up to the match between him and Tanahashi, the new president of New Japan, for the New Japan TV title, I believe. I just wanted to clarify if that match had already happened yet or not, because I know, obviously, because they have a lot of shows over there. But so then I'll take Team Riddle and TBD.
I have a rule. You never bet against TBD. So it's really hard. I think Zack Sabre Jr. is awesome. Bad dude Tito's a bad dude. I mean, they're going to go toe to toe. I'm really curious how the chemistry in ring is going to look between Sabre and Riddle. And again, I think this is a really good chance for Riddle to show people I'm more than just the bro. Like, I can actually wrestle. He had a good match recently. So I'm looking forward to this one. So I'm leaning Team Riddle for this. Keep building his stock.
I have to kind of agree with you there, KJ. You never really bet against, a to be determined teammate. So I'm gonna go with Matt Riddle here.
I like it. It's hard to bet against the TBD. It really is.
Right.
Hercules.
Well, we've got TBD taking on TMDK. So
there you go. There you go. Zack Sabre Jr. for the win, please. Riddle mystery partner. I have no idea who the mystery partner is. It could be literally anybody. I haven't seen many rumors or speculations about it.
Maybe it's just Riddle by himself. Who wants to team with Matt Riddle?
It's Randy.
It's just some guy in the crowd named Randy.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Oh, Jason saying it's RVD.
Yeah, why didn't I even think of that? It is possible. They're in San Jose.
If that happens, if I hear Pantera's Walk or The Fear I See in the Back of Your Mind, they're winning.
EC3, interesting. Yeah, I don't know, but RVD is a good shout, especially with the location of this match. It wouldn't be too hard for RVD to get there. You get Team 420, could be a thing.
Do it 100% all the time. Just shut up and take my money.
Speaking of shutting up and taking your money, Eddie Kingston against Gabe Kidd.
Eddie Kingston wins.
Yeah.
Eddie Kingston wins easily.
We know who
I was going to say, so this is where I shut up and just Eddie Kingston wins.
Yeah, that's 100%. I think we're going to go carte blanche on this. Eddie's hot right now. He's the triple threat winner, or triple crown winner. He won a triple threat once upon a time. But yeah, the triple crown winner. MDB saying Gabe. A couple people saying Gabe. But yeah, I mean, it should be a fun match. I honestly don't know a shit ton about Gabe, though, to be honest. Gabe is awesome.
He's got a bit of a name. Like he's one of those still kind of floating out there. We'll put on a hell of a match, but I don't want to fully compare it to Eddie's match coming up tomorrow night with Yuta, but it feels a little bit in that same realm-ish. I think we've just been overexposed to Yuta, so Yuta's got some tinge to it. It's just kind of got a little stank on it. Gabe Kidd, I think, will be a fantastic match, but Eddie wins.
Yep. Is Gabe Kidd and War Dog's contract coming up? I believe you might be accurate with that, Jason, to be 100% honest with you. So, yeah. I don't see Eddie losing either way. So, but they could be, free agents sooner than later. Wheeler Yuta is gross. That's not nice. Tagagi versus John Moxley in the Who Bleeds first match. I made that part up.
Well, I said no DQ match. So
yeah, right.
I was gonna say if it's a Who Bleeds first match, get your stopwatches ready. Moxley about to lose this shit real quick.
Dude, he'll be bleeding in the first 2 minutes.
Is it weird that I feel like Moxley needs this win after almost getting emotional about not winning at Wrestle Kingdom? Like he was literally the press conference after Wrestle Kingdom. He looked like 2 steps away from.
He didn't know what belt he was competing for.
He actually.
He's talking about emotional. He didn't know what he was doing.
He was just bummed he didn't win.
He was just there.
He's like, fuck, there's too many belts in this world.
Right. What do you mean emotional?
He was.
The only emotion he had was confusion.
No, that seems like a constant state actually with Mr. Moxley, but
he lives in a constant state of confusion.
Moxley was fantastic at wrestling.
No, typo. It's delusion, not confusion. He lives in a constant state of delusion.
Right. This should be a hard-hitting no DQ match. Again, I'm gonna go Moxley. He's the bigger name. To us. I think he only agrees to do it if he wins.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with John Moxley here. Definitely, he's gonna be bleeding in the first 2 minutes. I don't know who this guy is though. I kind of interested just by his face. It's like he looks very.
You would like Shingo Takagi. He's very much. I don't want to put it this way because there's a certain connotation saying this. He's like New Japan's John Moxley. This kind of a fucking badass who he may not be always your top guy, but he's in the top of your scene and just known for being a bad motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. Him and Mox who do like the Spider-Man meme of like,
I am you, you are me.
I'm interested in seeing that now.
I could send you like how you could send me a whole back catalog of TNA stuff. I could send you a whole back catalog of like New Japan stuff.
Shikingo looks like the android ninja robot, ninja from RoboCop 3.
And on that comment, I am taking Shingo anyways.
You're going to take Shingo?
Absolutely, because I think John Moxley might be wrapping up a bit with his commitments to New Japan because AEW, your home company, might need you a little bit more because we've taken on We're taking on water. We're taking on water, Mr. Squidward. I want my mommy, Mr. Squidward.
Moxley has been that guy, right? Like forget Hook and his bat symbol. We might need Mox's bat signal to go up and try and save things again. I think Mox is actually inching toward, I hope anyway, for his
John
sake.
Moxley? Sorry.
What?
I just said Samoa Joe versus John Moxley?
Perhaps. But I think John Moxley needs a vacay. I think he needs to just take a break.
Fair enough.
Take a break.
Has he not taken that break since the first time he was supposed to take a break when all of that? He didn't, yeah. So he definitely needs to take one then.
Yeah. Every time he's like on his way out with his bags packed, somebody fucks something up and he ends up back in the ring. Son of a bitch. But I think he doesn't want to go.
That's why he just looks like a pissed off stepfather the whole time. Because he's just like, the second I try and take some fucking time off,
right?
Fuck!
I'm not even supposed to be here today.
Right.
Moxley should be the mainstay in New Japan. For some reason, he actually wrestles and sells there. It's funny, we talk about that all the time. That
because more people actually fuck him up over there.
He's actually taking real blows.
Right, because that shit's real.
Right. All right. Kushida, almost said Kushida. Okada taking on Will Ospreay. This one's going to bang.
How did I not know about this one?
Yeah, this is a burner.
This, I feel, is the match that the card was built on. Like I said earlier, this is 100%. This is arguably, we could never see this matchup again.
Technically, yeah. On paper.
Wow.
This is the end. This is almost the end of an era when it comes to being a New Japan fan. Of Ospreay's built himself up from being through the whole junior heavyweight division all the way up into the main card, was at one point IWGP heavyweight champion and then had to vacate it because of injury. Okada's been the consistent throughout New Japan. He is the dude. Instead of the can't see me man, they have the Rainmaker man.
Yeah.
So this is an absolute coin flip, but I think this has the match, or this has the potential to be the match of the weekend.
It really could be. I mean, again, two guys that go hard. My only fear with this is I faded on Okada recently. I mean, Okada's got to show me a little more than he has in some of his bookings. That's just me being a little critical. Ospreay's at the top of his game. I think he could have been. He was my pick for Wrestler of the Year in 2023. He recently came off a loss, but again, he's still kind of on his way to AEW. I'm going to go Ospreay, though. I'm leaning Ospreay.
This match is definitely given like final countdown, final boss for both of them. Right. I really didn't know this match was happening. I'm like completely shocked here. I don't know. It's very hard now thinking, and I'm going back to Hard to Kill for just a second, of Josh Alexander actually losing, knowing that he has to face Will Ospreay the very next night, which will be on one of the episodes of TNA Impact. Yeah. And then Okada also being involved. Wow. I don't know. This is now I kind of want to stay up and watch this match. I'm gonna just go oddball here and pick Okada. I really am.
Yeah, that's honestly, that's not an oddball prediction there at all, because even CX brings up Big Nick is New Japan more physical than all the other wrestling promotions. It's more shoot style, I'll say that. There's very much there's New Japan strong style for a fucking reason.
Yeah.
Everyone, like what you see with a Gunther and all of that has WWE fans of, oh my god, I can't believe he's actually chopping the bejesus out of people. Yeah. That's every New Japan match.
Yes, almost sometimes too much so, but yeah, you got no, but that's exactly what it is. Like, it's that strong.
Well, that's where unfortunately you've gotten the forearm, the chop back and forth spots. That's taken from New Japan and become Americanized, and it's gone just overboard.
Bastardized.
But it's been bastardized. It's been a bastardization of that spot. But we had Okada versus Danielson at Wrestle Kingdom 18, I believe.
Yeah,
and that was a hell of a match, and Okada actually got the win.
Yes, he did. And I think Damian hit the nail right on the head. And this has been said before. We've joked about it. He's the John Cena of New Japan. He's big time Okada, big match Okada.
I'm definitely taking Okada back now, and I'm going Will Ospreay. Since you compared him to John Cena.
I was trying to let you just take him, so it wasn't a clean sweep because I'm taking Ospreay in this match. I think Ospreay gets this because he's going to AEW. On the only way I see Okada win this is if he's locked in with New Japan going forward, which could very much happen. But there's also been a bit of Okada burnout, I feel, for a bit with New Japan. He did have a time to where he was literally unbeatable. He was Super Cena in New Japan and then kind of fell off. And now he's gone right back into, you can't beat me instead of you can't see me.
Yeah, definitely that vibe for sure. But yeah, there you go. But everyone out there should listen to MDB. Make sure you like and subscribe. I don't know if there's any. Again, it's so hard for New Japan because they do pull. So I won't even bother with. Do we expect any big surprises or shocks? There'll probably be a couple in there. But I'm a little disappointed now that MK Ultra is not on the hard to kill card. That you brought it up, Anthony. It's been bugging me since you said it. What the hell?
Yeah, that's kind of weird. And one thing going into Hard to Kill, I wanted to mention, I just kind of noticed it. They're skipping a day with the last title reveal. So the tag titles for the knockouts will be revealed on Saturday. So are they messing with us and going to have some type of big announcement tomorrow that they haven't talked about?
Okay.
Or are they trying to give us a break with all the announcements and just waiting for Hard to Kill? I kind of thought about that as we were going through the battle in the Valley card. That just kind of hit me all of a sudden. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe they, Scott goes to give them the belts and somebody else shows up to say, hey. That'll be very interesting for sure. Yeah. I like that idea.
Well, with it being on the day of the pay-per-view, be a nice little tie-in of we're not only going to give you the new belts, you're going to be defending them tonight.
Yeah.
True.
Bring back the Iconics. Let's go.
Yes.
Wait, well, side note before I know we're wrapping up and everything, but we've talked about the fake, Rumble, programs and everything that have gone out there. Has anyone seen the fake Elimination Chamber one that's gone out there?
I have not seen the fake Elimination Chamber.
It was hosted. I can't.
Oh, I did.
Make sure it was hosted by the Iconics. I know we already had The Rock versus Roman on there. It was Rhea versus somebody. We had Logan Paul versus Grayson Waller. Yeah, it's now just getting so hilarious. We're now getting like with the Royal Rumble one that's been going out there. Gianna Praza was on there. She signed with AEW. So what the fuck does that mean?
Right.
No, and we've seen it so many times, man. It kills me. It killed the conversation as well.
No. I knew we were towards the back door, so I'm like, I've talked enough. Enough.
I know when I'm hitting the pause. No, that's I love the fake cards that come out because they're really funny. The amount of people that run with them as facts is always adorable, but
that's how you know the bullshit from the honest people.
Right. Speaking of that, this is the place where you find the honest people. Make sure you guys come back. Not only tomorrow, we got the doubleheader, we got SmackDown, we got Rampage. Should be a fun night here on the channel, the doubleheader. And then we are back. The night is so big, we're going to need 3 hosts. So all 3 of us will be here on Saturday for Hard to Kill and Battle in the Valley. And there's 4 or 5 other wrestling shows on Saturday. It's ridiculous. I don't know why these promoters don't look at their calendar and try and figure out why not to do it against other shows. But
wait, we don't want to do a Battle of the Belts prediction?
It's going to suck.
I was fucking joking.
My prediction. Listen, like I said earlier, I think it's absolutely asinine that Jericho and Sammy Guevara are going to take the titles away from Ricky and Big Bill. It breaks my heart.
Oh, you think they win?
I think they're going to win.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I was even just upset that they were in the match. I didn't think they were going to fucking win it.
Well, I mean, even Sammy winning clean last night blew my mind. Poor Ricky. Ricky is at the fucking door. Like, if anyone out there's ever owned a dog and then the dog needs a walk and it's just at the door chomping for you to open it up, that's Ricky Starks waiting to go to WWE. Just sitting at the fucking door waiting for it to be open.
My bags are packed and I'm ready to go because I'm leaving on a jet plane.
On that melodic note, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you as always on behalf of Anthony, Big Nick, and myself. We appreciate all the love and support, especially watching this channel blow up in early 2024, and we can't wait to see where it goes. Gentlemen, any final thoughts on what to expect Saturday night?
No, I don't have anything else. I think I've said everything I could say.
All.
I think I said it all. I haven't been on here in a week.
Final statement before the show.
I think I haven't been on here in a week, and I think I said everything I wanted to say tonight.
Give the ultimate sales pitch.
Tell us, Anthony, why should people tune in to Hard to Kill?
Because Mercedes Moné is going to be there. Plain and simple.
Nick, never
our shit is real. Our shit is raw. Our shit is authentic. When you talk about the wrestling, you're going to put that for life with it.
Thank you so much, folks. Have a good night. See you on the flip side. Bye.